Hey everyone, it's Fentony. This is going to be everything you need to know about Fantastic Beasts 3. I've got several videos on the channel explaining all of this, but I want to break it down in one single video, and I'll be doing that with all my topics on the channel. I've done Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Witcher Season 2, and Amazon's The Lord of the Rings. After Fantastic Beasts 3, I've still got The Chronicles of Narnia on Netflix, HBO, BBC, His Dark Materials, and of course the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. So Fantastic Beasts 3 doesn't have a title yet. It's likely going to be Fantastic Beasts or Fantastic Beasts The. The release date is November the 12th, 2021, and that's a week after Thor: Love and Thunder on November the 5th. That's big competition, but I don't think Warner Brothers can afford to push back Fantastic Beasts again, because originally the release date was meant to be November the 20th, 2020. There's several reasons to why the film was delayed. One of them is the fact they're delaying the filming from July 2019 to spring 2020. And also J.K. Rowling was busy rewriting the script to make a better film that could be watched on its own, rather than just a part of the story. Crimes of Grindelwald definitely feels like a part 2 of a 5-part series, but these big blockbusters have to stand as solo films. All the Harry Potter films are watchable on their own. You don't really have to watch a series. You can just go, which Harry Potter film do I want to watch tonight? Crimes of Grindelwald was criticised because all it was doing was setting up the future films, whereas Half-Blood Prince sets up the Deathly Hallows, but it's got its own story and you can watch it as a solo film. But really, it's all about money. The Crimes of Grindelwald did not perform as well as Warner Bros. Hoped. It made $653.8 million at the box office on a $200 million budget. I ain't an expert when it comes to box office, but once we factor in marketing and other stuff, it still made a profit, just not as much as Warner Bros. Hoped. And it's the lowest grossing Wizarding World film so far. But I will say this, some people wrote off Crimes of Grindelwald months before it was released. There was a lot of toxic people on social media that said quite a lot of horrible stuff about this film and the people involved. I ain't going to get into that, but guys, don't let them ruin it for us the fans. The plan is still to do 5 films. Fantastic Beasts 3 is arguably the most important film in the entire Wizarding World series. It needs to perform strong at the box office. It needs to make more money than the Crimes of Grindelwald and get some better reviews from the critics and the fans. I definitely think there's a great story in there, but I think the main problem comes from the transition from J.K. Rowling's original story to her screenplay and then to film. You could argue that this series would have been better if she just wrote the books. Obviously this series is a Harry Potter prequel, and a lot of prequels do rely heavily on nostalgia. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was very fresh, and it kind of stayed clear of that. There were a few Harry Potter references here and there, like for instance Dumbledore was mentioned by Grindelwald in disguise. But I never went full on prequel mode, where it relies heavily on the series that came before it. The series never tried to remind you every 5 seconds, oh this is a Harry Potter prequel. Whereas Fantastic Beasts 2 went full on prequel mode and went back to Hogwarts. Hearing Hedwig's theme and seeing the castle brought back a lot of memories, but honestly it didn't feel forced like a lot of prequels out there. But a lot of people criticised the film for so-called plot holes and retcons involving characters from Harry Potter, such as Professor McGonagall, who was supposedly not born in 1927, but she's a teacher at the time. I think that birth date was posted on Pottermore, but after the film it was removed, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But there has been a lot of talk about future films including more Harry Potter references, more scenes at Hogwarts, and a lot more Dumbledore, as that's what the fans love the most. I can see sense in that, but they need to be extremely careful. They need to find the right balance between a fresh story and just fan service. And of course treading on the toes of established canon. David Yates will return as director, and he's been directing Wizarding World films since Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. And the original plan is for him to direct all 5 films, but that's not set in stone. But I know some fans think a change of director might be the best for the series. I've got no issues with him personally, but maybe a change of director wouldn't hurt the series. And if this film doesn't do great, then I think he'll definitely be cut. But all the actors are meant to be returning, the main cast has been locked down, including Jude Law and Johnny Depp. The film will be set in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, possibly in the 1930s. Remember, Crimes of Grindelwald was set in Paris in 1927, so there might be a time skip of a few years. Why they're in Rio de Janeiro, I don't know, but the Amazon rainforest is nearby. Newt Scamander, Fantastic Beasts, and the Amazon rainforest. It writes itself. Remember, there's going to be 5 films and 5 main cities. The first film was set in New York, the second one in Paris, but of course other places as well, such as Hogwarts. The third film's city will be Rio, but we will be going to other places. and the North American wizarding school, Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, has been hinted several times, and many fans want to go there. As for the plot, Crimes of Grindelwald left a lot on the table, but J.K. Rowling has said answers are given. We still need to learn the truth about Credence. Grindelwald told him that his real name is Aurelius Dumbledore, and he's a brother of Albus Dumbledore, but we're not too sure if that's the full truth. Grindelwald might have been lying, or manipulating him. And of course you've got Dumbledore and Grindelwald's relationship. Did they really love each other? What's going on there? And can Dumbledore destroy the Blood Pact? And will we learn more about Ariana's death? That's Dumbledore's sister. And of course many more Dumbledore secrets. And I think the key word is Dumbledore. Where does Newt Scamander fit into this? Basically it feels like he's just Dumbledore's errand boy. It's all about Dumbledore versus Grindelwald, with Newt Scamander and his beast just squeezed in. The first film was definitely Newt's film, but the second one was more Dumbledore and Grindelwald featuring Newt Scamander. Newt does get more screen time than Dumbledore and Grindelwald, but everyone's interested in them. I think they need to find the right balance, and that's not considering the fact there's also Queenie and Jacob and their relationship, Newt and Tina's relationship, of course Nagini and Credence's relationship, and the fact that Nagini will eventually turn into Voldemort's snake. There's lots going on, and we also have to remember there's going to be new characters. This series is a bit cluttered, and I even expect Tom Riddle to appear at some point, as he was born on the 31st of December 1926, which was a few weeks after the first film, and this series will go all the way until 1945, when we get that epic duel between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. But that's a long way away. I want you guys to post in the comments below your thoughts on Fantastic Beasts 3. Are you still excited for the film? There's still 3 films to go, and after that we have no idea what's next. But I think eventually the Wizarding World will continue. Maybe on the small screen, maybe give movies a break. But everything depends on the third film, there's no point in looking too far ahead. But whenever we get more Fantastic Beasts news, including that title, there will be more videos on the channel, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. As soon as filming starts, it's likely the news will pick up. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Click here to learn all about Amazon's Lord of the Rings series. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.